Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today we're going to talk about the American Airlines Red Aviator card from Barclays Bank and really answer the question, is it for you? I think this card is really good for some people, and for some people I think it's a skip. So if you would hit the like and subscribe button, and let's determine if you're the person who needs the red card or maybe if there's a better choice for you. American Airlines has a weird system. And what I mean by that is for years, now they recently changed that up and in the future it's going to be implemented, but they've had two credit card partners, Barclays Bank and Citibank. And Citibank has offered more cards traditionally and seems to be, through the years, a little tighter with American Airlines as far as their relationship because they have the kind of big time card that gives you access to Admirals Clubs. So when you look at Barclays, they're kind of the little brother who's kind of hanging out on the sidelines. In fact, American, they even restricted the marketing access. Barclays only marketed on flights and in airports. They didn't send out mailers. They didn't advertise in other ways. That's kind of what their niche has been. And so you've seen this card. If you fly on an American Airlines flight, in the seat back pocket, there's going to be an advertisement for the card. And you're going to hear the flight attendants at some point before you land. They're going to push it, and they're even going to walk through the cabin and have those little pamphlets that you can use with a QR code for an elevated offer. And when you're in the airport, mainly at DFW, you can't ride an escalator without seeing all sorts of ads for the Red Aviator card. Now, Barclays has upgrades for this. You can get the Aviator Silver card, which is really a different card for a different kind of consumer. But you can't get that except by invitation if you've had the Red Aviator. So who is it for? Well, you've got options, so you've got to kind of determine that because you might be better off with one of the Citi cards. You might be better off without an American Airlines card at all. So let's dive into what the card is and its kind of unique factors because it is unique. I mean, it's really different. It's not like the Citi cards. It's not really like any other airline card on the market. So who is it for based upon all of these features? The first really cool feature of the Red Aviator card is that it gives your sign-up bonus without any significant spending. I don't really know of another card except cards by Barclays, like sometimes they have this with the Hawaiian cards, but I don't know of any other issuer, Chase, Citi, American Express, Capital One, any of those that give a sign-up bonus when you just make a single purchase. But this card does. I mean, you can buy a stick of gum, you can buy, a piece of candy. Once you get the card and you pay the annual fee, which is $99 a year, you're going to get the sign-up bonus. And the sign-up bonuses are competitive. The typical one is 60,000 AA miles. The better one, if you apply through one of those pamphlets on the airplane or, a QR code that you see in the airport maybe, you're going to get maybe an elevated offer. Sometimes that's 70,000. And that is a good sign-up bonus, regardless of issuer or regardless of airline. However, it's really good because it's American Airlines. American Airlines, I argue this all the time, they have the hardest points of the big three to earn because they don't have any transfer partners. If you want Delta points, you can use a Delta card or American Express card, transfer it to Delta. If you want United points, you can use a United card from Chase or transfer the points from Chase by using your Sapphire or whatever it may be. But with American, there is no option like that. So you've got to use their cards or use their shopping portals, use their hotel portal, stuff like that. You've got to stay in their ecosystem. But when you use their points, they're real valuable. I'm telling you, I often get one-way flights pretty much across the U.S. for $12,500, $10,500, sometimes $9,500 points. So when you think about that, that's a round trip between 20 and 25,000 points. So with the 70,000 sign-up bonus, if you just put a little bit of spend on this card at all, you're getting like 3 round-trip domestic trips. That's really good. And that's also a business class ticket overseas if you shop and get a Saver Award with American. So for one purchase of $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever you spend on that one purchase, that's really, really a fantastic sign-up bonus. So that's kind of the first thing that stands out about the uniqueness of this card. The second thing is that it comes with a companion certificate after a certain threshold of spending. So if you spend, I think it's $20,000 in a calendar year, then American will give you a companion certificate that you pay $99 and the taxes and fees, and you get to fly with a companion for free, right? Well, that's kind of nice because on an American card, that's not a super common feature, but it's not great in that their competitors do better. I mean, if you have the high-end Delta cards, you're going to get that. I think Alaska has some cards, or have in the past at least, that did something similar to this. And most of those well, at least with Delta, there's nothing but taxes and fees you pay. I think Alaska, you pay a little something too. But the kind of the unique part of this is you can get that on a $99 card. Like if you try to get it through the Delta, it's Delta Reserve or Delta Platinum, and those cards have big annual fees. So it's kind of like, is it good? Is it bad? It's kind of in the middle, because who's going to spend $20,000 on this card? Well, I think if you're primarily trying to fly American, you might do that. And so to me, it's a reasonable benefit, if not an outstanding benefit. The card gives a $25 annual Wi-Fi credit. That's a bunch of nothing. So, I mean, I guess somebody wants to use the Wi-Fi, they get $25. That could offset the annual fee a little bit, but doesn't mean a lot to me. It may to you, but it is a benefit. And then it's got really a unique thing called Flight Sense. And I have heard creators and experts in the field who are really down on this because they say it's not a very good deal. Now, what it is if you sign up and you put a maximum monthly threshold that you're willing to buy or purchase, and they round up your purchases. So if you spend, 50 cents on something, they're going to round it up to $1 at the end of the statement cycle, and they're going to sell you American Airlines points. Now, not loyalty points, but they're redeemable miles, which as we said, are very valuable. They're going to sell you those at a rate of 1 American Airline mile per 2 cents. So you're buying American miles for 2 cents a piece. Now, for me, that is really good. I've run the numbers, and I value now you're not going to believe this, but you got to understand that I only use my American points for outsized overseas. Mostly for me, it's last minute, which is sometimes amazing deals on American business class. So I value my American points at like between 7 and 10 cents a piece because of my specific use case. Now, most people, I think the points guy is going to value them 1.7, 1.8 cents a piece. That to me is even still a little low, because even if you do domestic and you shop a little bit, and especially if you check American day after day after day, because their prices change like every day. And so if you check it, you're going to get it for like that 12,500 or 10,500. So I think they're really worth upward of 2 cents a piece most of the time. So for most people, they're not going to get that much value, but even at 2 cents a piece, it's a wash. I mean, and it's a way to get points that maybe you won't notice as much because you're rounding up purchases. But for a lot of people, that's a bit of nothing. But for me, and for people who really value overseas, really reduced price type of travel in business class and on cool airlines like Japan Airlines and Etihad and stuff like that, I think that's a really cool, and even if you like it or not, it's a unique feature. I mean, no other card has anything quite like that. So this card is it's just quirky. It's just different. And it doesn't fit everybody, but that's just one of those little details that kind of make it stand out. Now, the earnings, the multipliers on this card are not very good. I mean, you get 2x on all purchases with American. If you're trying to get a card that gets great value with American, the City cards are better. I mean, they've got a card that does 3x, and they've got one, their top dog card does 4x. So it's just okay, and it gets 1x on everything else. But like all American Airlines cards, you get 1 loyalty point per dollar spent. Now, you don't get the elevated, so if you're getting 2 on American, you get 2 redeemable miles, but you only get 1 loyalty point for each dollar that you spend. But that's really helpful because with American, you can spend your way to status. So who is this card for and who is this card not for? Who should avoid it? That's the real question. I think the card is awesome for somebody who flies American sometimes and is interested in status at a low level and maybe has a moderate amount of spending. So if you fly American, and especially if you're an American hub city and you fly out of Dallas, or maybe you fly out of Charlotte or Miami or one of their hubs, Chicago, you could possibly, and if you spend like a reasonable amount, upwards of $20,000 on your card, then I think it's very possible that you'll hit their lowest level of status, gold status. And possibly even, depending on how much you fly, if you use the shopping portal and the hotel portal a little bit, you might even get to platinum. And I think platinum is, I've had all levels of their status, and I think platinum, most people say platinum pro is the sweet part. I have that right now, but I think platinum's pretty sweet because I love getting the main cabin extra. That's really got a lot of extra leg room, and you get better food, a little better service, you know, people who drink get free drinks. So, I mean, it's got some perks, and you get that for free at the platinum level. So you have to have 75,000 loyalty points for that, 40,000 for gold. So I think it's really good for those people. I think it's really also good for people who maybe are churning cards. They're just getting cards for sign-up bonuses, because this one has really no minimum spend except 1 purchase. So this can be a part of your strategy to just rack up a lot of points that year. Who I don't think this card is for people who really want to go all in on American and they fly a lot. I mean, I have this card. Well, my player 2 has it, and it's good for her because she flies sometimes for work and she can choose her airline, and you know, we're going to use that flight sense to round up and just save her points for great outsized value. It's really good for her. I don't use this card. This would not be useful for me because I need more boost for my loyalty points. So, and I fly a lot more than she does. So I have the World Elite MasterCard, their top executive card from Citi, and I like the access to different lounges. This card doesn't give any lounge access. So for somebody like myself, the card's not the best one to get. For somebody like her, or if you're a person who spends a moderate amount, a person who flies American some, would like to have some status and a way to help you get there, I think this card really is outstanding. And if you're churning through cards, I think it's really good for that purpose. Now we've got to throw in something extra at the end. This card will not be around forever because of the new agreement that Citi is going to be the exclusive credit card issuer for American Airlines going forward. And we don't know exactly when all that's going to happen, but at some point the Barclay cards are going to go away. I would say that might be good because who knows what Citi will do with that. They might move you into another Citi card. And the awesome thing about Citi is you can product change any card to any card anytime. And they've got some really, really good cards. You don't have to stay within the same family. You can just product change to anything. So that could be good. Maybe they'll take the card over and maybe make it better. We just don't know. It's kind of a waiting game, but because the card's pretty cheap and it does have some good benefits, I don't think you're risking much to wait and to use that strategy for what happens with Citi when that day finally comes. All right, is the card for you? Well, that's the metric I would use to determine that. I hope it's been helpful to you. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you here in the next video.